Crude oil prices this week hit a 5-month high, buoyed by OPEC's decision in December to rein in production. Further production cuts, however, may soon be needed to continue stabilizing prices as U.S. output continues to offset the pinch in supply. We retain our bullish stance for the second half of 2019 and first half of 2020 as we anticipate OPEC Plus to extend production cuts through 2019, Bjørnar Tonhagen, head of oil market research at the Norway-based consulting firm Rystad Energy, said in a statement referring to the Saudi-led cartel in oil-producing nations that have worked with it, namely Russia. By 2021 there will be renewed pressure on Saudi Arabia and OPEC Plus to cut production again, or risk a new down cycle in oil prices. Benchmark Brent and West Texas Intermediate crudes had reached $69.50 and $62.50, respectively, as of late Thursday morning, their highest prices since November. Prices have been sent higher not only because of cuts by OPEC and its allies but also from a closely watched decision by the International Maritime Organization, a United Nations body, to begin requiring ships to switch from heavily polluting bunker fuel to cleaner burning fuel types, a move widely anticipated to drive up demand for diesel. We also expect bullish oil market effects due to the introduction of IMO 2020 regulations on sulfur content in marine fuels, Tonhagen said. However, such effects, he continued, may prove short-lived as markets adapt to the shift in demand for oil. We tentatively expect a correction in prices, possibly already from the second half of 2020 and into 2021, as the IMO effect fades. Tonhagen, with U.S. drillers able to keep pace with rising demand, OPEC and Russia may effectively find themselves contemplating another production cut at the end of this year or early next year to shore up prices. The biggest issue is the ability of the U.S. shale industry to grow by 1.4 million barrels per day, annually between 2020 and 2025 in our current base case, which is enough to keep up with global demand, causing a recurring dilemma for Saudi Arabia and OPEC, Tonhagen said. Other analysts generally agreed with the projection. If U.S. production remains strong and OPEC makes no cuts, or reverses cuts, next year, then oil prices could indeed collapse, says Stephen Koppitz, managing director of Princeton Energy Advisors. For the moment, however, demand looks to be running ahead of supply across the globe, including the U.S. That's bullish for oil prices. The U.S. produces what's known as light oil, while other nations produce heavy oil. Different refineries can typically best handle only one type or the other. Meanwhile, countries such as Venezuela, Canada and Mexico that produce heavy oil have recently struggled to bring it to ports and refiners. Such constraints may amount to a de facto limit on oil supplies in the market. Heavy oil supplies appear challenged for the foreseeable future with problems getting product flow in, be it Venezuela, Canada or even Mexico, Dan McTeague, senior petroleum analyst GasBuddy, writes in an email. The U.S. oil production juggernaut is based on light oil. The world still needs the heavies,